Hey ladies and gentlemen, it's me again. Today I decided to go a little more in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, boy.
I just wanted to find out, why do we keep seeing these books appearing as if the teachers never really know the book is there, or they're kind of surprised that it's still there. And it made me think like, maybe there's something deeper in the air. I found out. Look at this.
Speak about the proposed changes to the family life education curriculum. In particular, the terms assigned male and assigned female at birth are not only inaccurate, they're confusing and nonsensical to most children.
Agree.
How, I wondered, could FCPS recommend such radical language? What experts support this and why? To get these answers, I looked at the sources FCPS has cited in their justification. But what I found was not a peer-reviewed article or a recommendation from developmental psychologists or educators.
You know my mama don't like you.
Rather an
No.
opinion piece written by advocacy organizations. So I decided to learn more about them and what they stand for. And here's what I found. The first organization that FCPS looks toward to educate our children is Advocates for Youth. This organization has their own education standards, sex education standards, called The Future of Sex Ed, which I had the pleasure of reviewing.
Isn't that horrible? They are just the people that decided what the heck is sex ed. It's not like an organization that studies kids. It's just, hey man, we just care about kids and we are gonna talk about certain things and we're gonna label it sex ed.
Are you stupid or something?
Yeah. It's not psychologist. It's just a bunch of special Antifa that feel they have a moral obligations that's way better than your own freaking moral. When you are the one that had the most beautiful gift in life, which is a baby, and they can decide how that baby will grow, how they will go forward, and they will never acknowledge the people that might even use that as a Trojan horse to get even closer to your kid because you're discriminating.
Here are some highlights. Starting in 3rd grade, 8 to 9-year-olds should learn about sexual feelings and masturbation, as well as the role of hormone blockers on young people who identify as transgender. Starting in grade 6, it's anal sex.
You what?
Which is necessary because in grades 9 to 10, the children learn to describe effective ways to communicate desires as they relate to pleasure and sexual behavior.
That's why in the previous video, I was like, why did it take you almost 6 years to teach sex ed? I had sex ed in one freaking class when I was 11, and they explained everything in detail so you can at least understand, because they know at 12 they start going crazy.
Don't touch.
But you wanna talk about that consistently? Teach them math! Teach them to write! Teach them to dance with clothes on!
The second organization FCPS looks toward to educate our children is called Sex Ed Honestly. They describe themselves as a national organization that promotes unfettered access to sex education for young people. And believe me, they mean unfettered. Answer has a website for teens full of information, including an article titled Anal Sex, From Stigma and Myths to Facts, that does our kids a favor by recommending lubricant for anal sex.
Nobody that does sex ed was teaching kid lubricant for the poom poom. Nobody! Why are you doing this? I can't understand.
The third organization that you look toward to educate our children is called SECUS, Sex Ed for Social Change. In February 2022, they had a webinar called The P Word, Porn Literacy and Sex Education, where the moderator said, porn can be good if sex ed is good.
Wow.
We have to be aware of the beautiful ways pornography was invented to be a fantastical, wildly unrealistic tool. It's not about making kids stop watching porn, it's about being literate. I don't know about you, but it sounds to me like she's advocating for porn and not our kids.
Now, did you listen to the last part?
We have to be aware of the beautiful ways pornography was invented to be a fantastical, wildly unrealistic tool.
That prawn was a special thing for the future? Did you remember? You saw that, right? Do you remember that in the previous video before I said something about they want to use that to help people with this feeling to kids, for example, that they can watch the videos made previously. So if they watch it at home, they at least get that satisfaction out and they will not go look for it on the outside.
You're a victim.
When I heard that for the first time, it clicked in my head like, yes, that's gonna happen. Because the slippery slope is not stopping, because we are not allowed to call it out and say, hey man, stay there. Yeah, you're the ableist because you don't feel the same way as them. They can't help it. I think there's a bunch of people that actually feel that. They just don't talk about it. They just control, and they know it's not a good thing. But the fact that you're allowed to express it as if it's normal, dude, missus, whatever you want to be, non-binary, binary, trans woman, trans man, bet. So my conclusion is, our technology is going to the future, but our mindset, how people are taught, or how they think about the real life way of thinking is going back in time.
And here we go.
The tribal feeling of specific people are being normalized when for so many years we said no. And we removed the no.
Your fault.
So parents, with all due respect, stop appreciating your job and start appreciating your kids in a different way. Because this is going to sound very horrible, okay? Not all kids are safe. You cannot save all the kids. You can only save sometimes yours. Because, sorry, some don't have parents. And hopefully they will be saved. Maybe they won't. Maybe they will. But if a lion is running after you, you don't have to run faster than the lion. You just have to run faster than the other person. And guess what? Nobody... I got left behind. And I ran very hard. I had certain experience that I would never want my kids to ever experience in my life. And the fact that even if I spoke the truth, that nobody knows exactly what happened, the only thing I'm going to get, I'm sorry.
Oh, boo-hoo.
But you need to understand these people. And I'm like, ooh, ooh. Keep smiling while I can. That's all I'm going to say. Because only those that are not defensive are the first victim in this whole thing. Just like a thief sees a tourist. That's how it works. It's a bad analogy because it sounds horrible, but that is how they see you. If you stand out, that's a problem. Anyway, man, let me know what you guys think. The usual like, bada beam, bam, boom. And hope you have a nice day. Mommies, daddies, do your thing.